Hey folks, Crazy Climber80 here again, and we're going to look at game number 10 in R20 from the Atari 2600/VCS series. And this was created in 1980 by Atari and Bob Smith. And Atari had released an arcade version, or an arcade video game pinball hybrid called Video Pinball in 1978, or 1979. It was great fun back then, and this is the home port, although it's a lot different. This is Video Pinball. But I loved this version, even though it was quite a bit different from the arcade version. The arcade version had like a mirror inside the game, and it had background artwork, and it had kind of a disco-y motif in the artwork. But I like this a lot too, and here's basically how to play. There are bumpers, and they are 100 points each, and the number inside the bumper is times 100. There are 3 targets at the top, and if you hit all 3 of them, that ups the bumper value by 1. There are little things that spin around and can knock your ball upwards. They're worth 1 point. There's an Atari symbol that's worth 100, but if you hit it 4 times, you can get an extra ball. And there's a target in the center that's worth 1,000, and then the upper left shaft, after you lose a ball, the bumper value is added for each time that shaft target is hit. And I might have played this a little bit back when it was new for the Atari 2600, but I remember playing it a little bit later and just being blown away. I think it's great fun. I've never been super crazy about pinball in general, but there were some great video pinball games. I might have liked pinball a little bit better when I was a kid than as an adult. I never really got into pinball, but by this point, pinball was being phased out a good deal by arcade video game machines. But this is a lot of fun. You only have a joystick and a button, but that's all you need. The game is brilliantly set up so that works. To serve the ball, you pull back on the joystick and you push upwards and the button to shoot the ball. And the further you pull the plunger back, the harder the ball is going to be hit when it's served. Oh crap! Don't go down that shaft. That'll be the end of your ball. But yeah, like I was saying, if you go down that little shaft that shows the Atari logo, you need to hit it a total of 4 times, and then you can get 1 extra ball. Just 1. But yeah, there will be 3 targets at the top. Once in a while, a special 1,000 point target will appear in the center, but it won't be there for very long. But that's a hefty 1,000 points for each time it's hit. So if you can get the ball bouncing around pretty good right in that area, you can repeatedly hit it and get some nice points. But you will see that one Atari symbol has appeared in the bottom left, and that's because I got the ball to go down that shaft with the Atari logo. And again, if you hit it 4 times, then you will get 1 extra ball. And you have a nudge feature in this that is brilliantly orchestrated. You just hold down there, I got that extra ball. You just hold down the button and you press in any direction with the joystick. Barely nudge at a time though. Barely. Because if you do it for very long at all, tilt, the screen will turn red and you cannot control the ball at all anymore, and it will be taken over by the computer and it will eventually fall down a hole. You can prolong its life for a little while. You can kind of still fight the fight the computer's inclination to make it go down a drain, but it'll eventually fall into a hole. And there, notice that I've upped the bumper's value to the number 2, which is multiplied by 100. And now the bumpers are now 200 instead of 100. And that happens when you hit those 3 targets at the top. And it can go up to 9, so that will be 900. The targets themselves, those 3 targets, are 100 points each, I believe. And again, as I was mentioning before, there are little spinners to the left and right. If the ball hits those, it's only 1 point. But the spinner can make the ball fly upwards, which is useful because really you want to focus on the left and right shafts at the top. If you can get it, if you can skillfully guide the ball via the nudge feature into those top shafts, you can get your extra ball. You can get extra points by hitting the Atari logo again, and with the top left shaft, you can increase the number in there. And when you get it all the way up to 9, that will be multiplied by 1,000 and the number on the bumpers. So when you lose your ball, as it stands right now, that shaft reads 7. That will be 3,000 for each number. So it'll be that, and now it'll be 4,000 for each number. And there, I got to 8. Come on, there, 9. And I don't think you can get it further than 9. But so that'll be 4,000 for each number once I lose my ball. So it'll say 4,000, then go down to 8, and then it'll give me another 4,000, go down to 7, until it goes down to 1, and then that'll be the end of the multiplier bonus, and then my next ball will start. So yeah, if you can learn to guide... See, that's a lot of points. For my first ball, I got over 77,000 points. That's pretty nice. And it still reads 1, like it's my first ball, because I won an extra ball by guiding it through the Atari symbol 4 times. So learn to be able to skillfully guide with the nudge feature, and guide it into those 2 shafts, top left and top right. You can control either both the flippers, or you can control one or the other. If you press left on the joystick, you will move the left flipper, and if you move right on the joystick, you will control the right flipper. And if you simply press up, you control both of them at once. Just the controls, the scoring scheme, everything about this game, I love it. But sometimes it seems like the ball might slow to a crawl. It will eventually pick up speed, or it might hit a wall or something, and it'll start moving faster. But yeah, you see the Atari symbol at the bottom left, and that's because I got the ball to go through that shaft at the top right. And when it says X, I think 4 or something, then that means I got the extra life, or the extra ball. Yeah, this game was friggin' awesome. I really enjoyed it. This is the best game I've ever had on this. I never could quite get this far. But I have one ball left. Yeah, just note that I still have the same value for the bumpers. And that's how this game variation goes. There are a total of 4 game variations. You can have bumpers stay in the same value throughout your game for one or two alternating players, or you can have it with the bumpers revert to their original total after each lost ball, which kind of sucks. Oh, whoa, don't go down there. But yeah, try to learn the nudge feature and get it to work for the top left and top right shafts. Well, that was my game of video pinball. And oh no, maybe I did have one more life. That's right. Yeah, that's right, because I got that extra ball to start with. But yeah, even though there's like no music or anything, there are still the sound effects are great. They're just perfect for this game. I really love this. I don't know for sure that it was super popular, but I played the living hell out of this game. But yeah, just learn that nudge feature and try to get it to work for you, so that you can have the ball go down the left and right shafts at the top. So it will give me one bonus of 4,000 when I lose my ball, because that's what the bumpers are. The bumpers themselves are 400, but that end of after the ball bonus will be 4,000. Well, now this, like I was saying, game variation 1 is one player with nudge. Game number 2 is two player with the nudge. And I think you might not get a nudge for game 3 or 4. You get your bumper value reset with each new ball for games 3 and 4. And if you set the difficulty switch to A, you will have extra drop shafts. That's not good at the bottom. And we're gonna watch me tilt. Like I said, if you move the ball too much, hold the button and move the joystick too much, then you will eventually lose the ball. You still fight the computer a little bit, and then the drop shafts will appear too, the bottom two. Here's me frying the cartridge, and you can have some weird effects. Some of the bumpers or shafts don't work, and some of the sound effects may be wonky. Okay. And the game might eventually crash. Yeah, sometimes frying can work well in an Atari game, but often it'll crash it or just make it weird. But that was Video Pinball by Atari and Bob Smith in 1980. Very, very cool, different port from the arcade. Very different game. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80. Say thanks for watching Video Pinball, game number 10 in our Atari 2600 series. See you soon with game number 9. Have a good one, folks. Bye-bye.